Hey guys, KJ here, back at you with another Goodwill bins video. This is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was there probably about 2 months ago now. That's how long it's taken me to actually get around to editing this and getting it out. Of course, I had all the 127 videos and the Highway Byway videos before I actually put this one out, so that's another reason why. But yeah, this is at the Goodwill bins in Pittsburgh with KJ. You'll see here in a couple of clips coming up as well. She found some pretty cool stuff as well, but I found some decent things. I don't think I picked that guy up. It's a Steeler. I don't think that's actually the Steelers. I don't know what their mascot is, actually. Maybe it's me. But that was a dog dressed up in Steelers gear, but I passed on him. I don't know. I think I'm about to show y'all some of the stuff I picked up so far. Yeah. That little Beanie Buddy, I think is who that is. There's a Beanie Boo. That little thing is some kind of electronic thing that I plugged in and it didn't work. And that's Sarah from Land Before Time. I was about to be like, I can't remember the name. Land Before Time. Anytime you find Land Before Time stuff, pick it up. That had a piece broken, so unfortunately I couldn't pick it up. That's probably why, as you saw the Goodwill sticker there, it was originally like $5 or $6, and no one wanted it because it was broken. Maybe it had all the pieces to begin with, but I think there was a piece at the bottom that was broken. Otherwise, it would have been worth like $50. But luckily, I did inspect it before and saw that it was broken, so unfortunately, I was not able to pick that up. Going through more of the bins. That's a random bear, I guess. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but yeah. It's handed the next clip. Here's some more plush that I found. A bunch of Beanie Boos. I think I don't done anything with them yet. I might put them in a whatnot show if I can. Those dolls right there actually did sell. I'll talk about them in the summary, I guess, out of stuff that sold. Those sold. I used those for the Little Darlings, I think was the brand. I used those for the 10 vs. 10 challenge that I did for this thing as one of the items that actually sold. I think it sold in the challenge. It might not have. I don't know, but it has sold at least. A lot of the other stuff didn't sell. I'll show one item later in the clips that I thought was going to sell really easily and still hasn't sold yet. So I'm not sure what the problem was there. Maybe it just wasn't a desirable item. But going through more of the bins, some stuff I see in the bins, I'm like, why do they even put it in here? Like that mirror. I think at this bins they do charge like per piece for bigger pieces, so maybe that's why. But stuff like that they should probably put in a separate section. At this store now they actually do a separate video game section at the front of the store, so that's why you're never gonna find video games in the bins at this Goodwill bins, because they have them stored at the front and put a higher price tag on them. Which, I mean, I guess they can do that if they want to, obviously, but to me it kind of takes away from the bins whenever you cherry pick stuff out of the bins and put it on the store. That had some stains on it, so I did pass on him. That's why I didn't pick him up. Squishmallows really aren't as great as they used to be, so unless they're really good condition or a cow or some other like Bigfoot, one of desirable ones, I'm probably gonna pass on them from now on, just because yeah, they don't weigh much, but people don't seem to really be interested in the Squishmallow anymore. The big beanie ball, I passed on him as well. Just didn't see the comps when I was looking him up, unfortunately. He would have weighed, probably close to a pound, which at this store I think is close to $2 a pound, I think, or something like that. So that big action figure there, I did pass on that as well. So yeah. So at one time, remember KJ tried on stuff at the bins? Are we gonna get her to try this on?
I don't know.
It's even got is that a hat for the veil?
Yeah, but I feel like it's bad. This is bad juju.
Well, you don't have to put it on. Unless you want to. That is an interesting... How old do you say that is?
I don't know. This has to be like 80s.
It's got to be, yeah, I'm about to say, it's got to be somewhat old.
Late 70s, early 80s.
Yep, and I got way too many plush right now. Bunch of Wild Republic plush. Some sharks, penguin, an owl, some other stuff. Here is a new bins rotation to show y'all, kind of showing everybody lined up around it. This store is not typically too bad if you're in the Pittsburgh area. I think it's the only one in Pittsburgh now. There used to be two, but they closed the good one, or what we called the good one. That was closer to, I think, Monroeville or something like that. I think that's where it was. That's the one I went to whenever I first did my Goodwill bins videos up there, but those have since closed, unfortunately. This one had a bunch of smalls in it, so sometimes smalls can be worth decent money, but not always, obviously. Yeah, I think that's a Wall-E figure there, and then maybe a Cars figure. I'm not sure exactly. Sometimes I'll just pass on those unless they're, unless I can find a grouping of them. If I go to the bins regularly, then I might pick up smaller items like that to group together. What did KJ find this time?
Nothing.
Nothing? Well, you're on camera.
Uh-oh.
As y'all heard there in that rotation, KJ found a whole lot of nothing, in her own words. I didn't really find much either, though, unfortunately. I found those little toys that I'm still carrying, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't even remember if I actually picked them up or not. The Wally plush, or not the Wally plush, the Wally car and whatever that guy was. That might have been Daniel Tiger. Next rotation slash thing I'm going to, it's not really a rotation. There's not a new rotation. You don't see a lot of people around me, which means it's not a rotation, obviously. I'm just looking to see what I can find. Usually when I come to the bins, obviously I wasn't there the day before, so I don't know what's been rotated, so I'll usually just go through every bin whenever there's not a new one coming out and look and see if I can find anything that looks good. I found stuff before at these bins, actually. Well, probably the older ones whenever in Monroeville, but I found some racquetball gloves that sold for like $100 one time, just randomly. So we took a break from the bins to go to a thrift store that we went to in the previous year as well. Like, this is some kind of Harlem hat that's not the Globetrotters, but it's something else. They were all signed, so I decided to pick it up. Also pick up the Jack Skellington Scentsy. That actually did sell already. That did not, the cat. But those were both half price. Blue was half price, so that's why I picked it up. That little cat's probably not really worth it, but it did have the tag, so I was tempted to buy it. And I did buy it, obviously, because it had the tags with it. That's why I picked it up. But yeah, here's another interaction of KJ buying more shoes. So every time I go to the store, KJ decides to look at shoes. So once again, she's looking at shoes this time.
Oh, no, I really like these ones.
What are they?
Nikes.
Oh, Nikes. You only get Converse.
I know, but...
Apparently she's about to switch her loyalty to Nike. After going to that thrift store and going to lunch and going to downtown Pittsburgh, which was kind of fun, actually. I got to see downtown Pittsburgh this time. And in the past, it's been either raining or cold, so this time I actually get to go somewhere other than just to the bins. But I found some plush there I showed y'all and some little toys. I do pick all those up, I think. Hunk was like the little Beanie Boo Husky. It's not worth too much, but it's probably worth around $10 to $15. So, for less than $1, I'll pick it up. Hadn't sold yet, but it's a Valentine's exclusive, so it'll probably sell around Valentine's Day. Now let's look at some of the stuff that KJ got. I think she actually sold the couple items already.
Are you filming somewhere?
What did KJ grab this time? She got some singamajigs, some shoes for herself like we talked about earlier. Like, she always buys shoes for herself.
Okay, that's enough.
Instead of for resale.
That is enough.
And some records. And a water.
The records might be for
A water
me,
that
too.
we actually had to wait to get a number to get.
Oh my God.
Which was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Alright, so I gotta talk about the water a little bit. That was whenever we went to downtown Pittsburgh. These are some of the plush I picked up at this rotation or this round. We went to downtown Pittsburgh, went and ate somewhere, and then we walked around a little bit, and KJ wanted to get a water, so we went to, I can't remember what the name of the store was, Jersey Mike's maybe, or something similar to that, and she ordered a bottled water, and they made her take a number. Why? Why can't you just grab the water and give it to somebody? I don't understand. that was so strange that they wouldn't just hand the water to you. But anyways, back to the bins. Back over that story. Back to the bins. And shout out to KJ for taking me to downtown Pittsburgh, and showing me some of the sights of Pittsburgh. It was really fun to hang out and get to see Pittsburgh. I went there in the past to a Steelers game and got to see the stadium. I can't remember what their name. It's not Heinz Field anymore. I think it's like Acrisure Stadium or whatever. Doesn't sound right to say that, but yeah. Moving on to the bins. That giraffe, if it was cheap enough, I would have picked it up, but that probably weighed more than a pound. So when you're looking at this, like, selling stuff, you're like, it gets a little expensive. Usually in my area, the plush I get are usually 50 cents to $1, and I don't want to pay that much at the bins or more than that at the bins for a plush that's really not great, that much greater. That little poop emoji thing might have been worth it to pick up to sell on Whatnot, but I don't know. I don't have the audience yet to sell something like that. Maybe if I get a following enough to be able to sell something like that, I will pick it up and try and sell it, because people buy just random stuff like that as like gag gifts and stuff. So yeah, that's why I didn't pick him up. The Wormy, like I said again, he probably weighs 2 pounds, so he definitely wouldn't be worth it. I picked actually 2 Wormies up in the past at this store, but they had the tags with them still, so it made it a little bit better to buy them. I think I might still have one, but one of them definitely sold. I think I might still have the other one, actually. A little soda pop up there. I'm not sure if it was a plush or what it was, but it might have been a Halloween outfit. I'm not going to pick it up because I don't have the space in my car, number one. And number two, probably just, I think it was a plush. It probably weighed a lot. There's a random leg there sitting in the bin. Not sure why. There's, shout out Jill. There's a bowling ball. That would have been really expensive. I assume they would have done a like bulk price for that probably and said like $5 maximum. I think that's what some bins will do. Is if it's $5 weighs more than $5, then it's just a set price. You know, obviously with furniture, a lot of the bins will put that in a separate area and sell it separately. I think at least that's what some bins do. The doll, I think it was City Toy. So yeah, City Toy. If it was American Girl, I would have picked it up. But City Toy, not really worth picking up at the bin, even at the bins. Mickey Mouse's, again, he's a generic plush, and Mickey Mouse is not a very it's an easy character to find, so I will usually pass on him because he's just not worth the money usually. Even though at Disney World they charge $25 or $30 for him, but at the thrift store or on eBay, I should say on eBay, it's really not worth it at all because it just doesn't sell, and there's so many listed and so little. Like the sell-through rate, I guess what I'm trying to say, is really, really bad. So yeah, if you see Mickey Mouse, unless it's something really special, I would pass on him. I actually picked one up recently that was a pirate Mickey Mouse. He really wasn't worth that much either, but I did pick him up, so he's mine now. I think I'm gonna try selling him on Whatnot, but yeah, I haven't sold him yet. Obviously, he's still in my inventory. Art is another thing that you can pick up at the bins sometimes like that, but canvas art like that's probably not really worth it. That's a cool one right there. I don't think I really look at it that closely just because I would not want to ship that, so I'd probably list it on Facebook and see if it would sell there. But yeah, I decided to pass that briefcase. Unless I don't think I actually opened it that I remember, but it didn't feel. I don't think I felt anything in there, so I did decide to pass on that as well. I think I picked up the lemur actually, which is, I think that's who that is. I picked up a bunch of Wild Republic plush, as y'all saw in that one clip. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I might try and put them as a lot on eBay and see if they sell, but they're going to cost a lot to ship if I put them in a big lot. But a bunch of bags there, hats and other stuff. This is getting towards the end of this clip, and I'm going to go to the summary and talk about, what I sold so far from this, and, just what all I picked up and why I picked it up. So yeah, let's cut to the summary. We'll close out the video. So this is present day Cajun coming to you with the summary of this video about 2 months after it actually happened. I just got done washing the cars, so my hair is probably a little messy. I'm probably a little sweaty, but you probably can't tell that. But yeah, it's pretty dry here, so I just had to turn on the sprinkler. We're not going to get any rain for the next like 10 days based on the forecast that I'm looking at. Sending all prayers to Florida. They just got that big Hurricane Milton, like historic storm coming through them, so hopefully they're all doing good and recovering, and I know it's a bit of a cleanup. We've gone through them here in Louisiana, unfortunately, as well. Hopefully we're done for this season and no more hurricanes. Let's just agree, no more hurricanes coming into the U.S. They can form out in the Atlantic if they want to, just dissipate, but no more coming into the Gulf of Mexico or to Florida or anywhere on the East Coast. So a couple items have sold from this Goodwill bins trip. A lot of them I haven't even listed yet. I'm not even sure where I put them in a box when I got back, and I'm not sure what happened to a lot of them. They're somewhere in the house. It's a bunch of plush. I saw the Beanie Boos and the Wild Republic plush that I had right there whenever KJ was looking at. I think that was a vintage wedding dress. She didn't wind up buying it. I don't think she did. That would have cost a lot to buy, and then how do you measure a wedding dress? In my opinion, they shouldn't even put those in the bins, because I guess you can alter them if you really need one, but I don't think not many people are going to go to the Goodwill bins to find a wedding dress to wear for their wedding. So yeah, it's always fun hanging out with KJ. Usually I do it. I've done it at least once a year for the last, I think, 3 or 4 years. The last 2 years I've gone up there for the 127 Highway Byway, where I hung out with Ken and Jill and Jimmy, and I think we hung out with Roman last year. This year Roman wasn't there, but yeah, hung out with him, and then I drive 2 hours north to hang out with KJ, because I might as well. I'm already all the way up there, so I might as well drive an extra 2 hours and get to hang out with KJ for a little bit. Year before that was the Saints-Steelers game, where the Saints got beat by the Steelers. That won't happen again. Next year, the Saints, or whenever they play again, the Saints are going to win. I think they play every 4 years. So, unfortunately, it's only every 4 years that the Saints get a chance to revenge that loss. Hopefully, we'll have a decent quarterback by then. I'm not confident given what's happening right now with the Saints. But the plush that I've sold, and then the year before that was the Thrifty road trip, where we went and saw Kayla, the homeschooling picker, and KJ all on the same trip. So that was a fun trip as well. That one took a lot of money, because I had to spend a lot of money to get hotels for that one, and it was like probably 10 or 12 days. So that probably cost over $1,000 just in hotels. So yeah, that's not always fun, but at least sometimes, you know, at least with the 127 Highway Byway, I have Ken's, the cabin, I guess Jill and Nancy's cabin I can stay at. So that saves a lot on money there. Anyways, that was a long roundabout way to get to what's sold for this video. What I've sold so far is those little Darwin baby plushies. They sold for $42 on Posh. You know, it's just random sometimes what sells on Poshmark. Hey, I want to be able to see myself when I'm pointing. Poshmark. They sold on Poshmark for $42 plus the shipping, so that's a decent sale. And then the Jack Skellington thing that I paid, it said $12.91 I think on there, but it was half price, so I paid $6. It only sold for $14, so it really wasn't worth it, unfortunately. And then KJ, those little Singamajigs, those sold, I think it sold within the week or two of, she sent me a text saying, hey, these sold. I think it sold for like $30 right there. I'll throw a picture up of them. So yeah, we both sold some stuff from the bins. I think she had a lot more stuff that was for herself, like those records, as y'all heard her say, they were for herself. The shoes, I can't remember if she was buying those to sell or not. Probably not. She likes to collect shoes, as any female pretty much does. I know from experience, my mom has basically a closet full of shoes. Y'all have seen me sell them in the videos before. Some of the ones that she doesn't wear anymore, like Clark's, some other brand. I can't remember the other brands right now. What are they? V something. I don't know. Y'all probably aren't this far in the video. No one else is watching this far in the video anyway, so thank y'all for the ones that made it this far in the video and put up with my rambling. I'll go back to regularly scheduled videos next week. I'm done with the highway series of videos and the Goodwill bins. I'll be back with some thrift store videos and maybe some garage sales. I haven't filmed I haven't filmed since I got back from that sale. Just haven't found much lately. But I need to get back into the habit of filming because now I don't have much. I still have some footage left, but I need to get back into the habit of filming at thrift stores because otherwise I'm not gonna have any footage to show y'all. I do have 2 storage unit videos to put out, and I might go ahead and do one of those next week. We'll see though. That's it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment with your favorite item that I found or sold. Mine's gonna be those little Darwin plushies because who would have known? They look like just generic baby plushies that aren't worth anything, and they sold for $42 plus shipping. And subscribe if not subscribed. Thanks for watching.